Hey y'all, these Scuppernongs like this, when you're down here eating them, you don't have to wash them. You don't have to take them home and wash them. You can eat them right off of the thing because they are not dirty. They're not dirty and they've got no poison on them or anything like that. You just pick one like this, put it in your mouth. And you break the husk in your mouth. And there's seeds in it. About 3 or 4. I'm gonna spit those out. There they are. I ate the husk and everything when I ate them. A lot of people just eat the inside. I ate them both. Here's a dark one. Look in here and you can see. These are the ones I got. You've got some kind of strawberry looking ones. You've got some green colored ones and you've got some dark purple. They're almost black. And you can mix them on here. And then I've got some that are real little. These are real little ones. See how small they are in comparison with some of these? Muscadines and Scuppernongs. My husband, the ones that, we've got a lot that grow wild in the woods around South Alabama, and he called those bullises, a bullis. And they're smaller, but they're really good for you. So I'm gonna take these to the house so I'll have some to eat on this week. And I'll eat 4, 5, or 6 a day. I'll eat the husk and everything in it. Let's walk over here to the pear trees. But I'm not gonna cook with these this week. I'm just gonna eat them. We'll walk over here to my pear tree. There's a pear tree right there. Or one of them. There's the other one. The deer have gotten most of the pear off of them. They, you know, pears will fall and they were just coming out here getting them. I'm telling you. Y'all, let me see if I can let you see some. I don't know if you can even see pears, but they're on there. Let me turn you around. Hey, let me hold the camera up now. There you go. There they are. These are kefir pears. They're hot. They're a hard pear. They're hard. There's several really big ones up there. I'm gonna have to get me a. There's one I might can reach right there. I'm gonna have to get me a fishing pole and come over here and pull these things down. It's the way I know to get them down. I've been eating a pear a day too. All right, let's walk back to the house. This is my old house I have down here. We used to have an antique shop in it years and years ago when George was living. It's an 1875 house. We had it moved here on big trucks. Isn't it pretty? Or I like it anyway. I think it's gorgeous. I do. And there's my house up there. But I've got to cut this grass. My goodness, it has grown. I need to get out here with a lawnmower today. Let's walk back to the house. Unless we want to sit on the swing right up here. I've got a swing. We can sit out there a minute and talk. We can never get up that way. We're heading out. All right. Woo. Let's get up here to our swing. George and I spent many hours in this swing. I love it. There it is, in your third cookbook. In your third cookbook, you saw a picture of that house right there. Our old antique shop. 1875. And then George and I would sit right here on this swing and talk and plan. I'm gonna sit my Scuppernongs down right there. I'm gonna show you this. This board right here is Dallas's. Let me show it to you. Right there it is. That is a piece of lumber out of the Conecuh River that floated up And God love him. He picked up that piece of lumber and he brought it to the house and he put it on that stump, and then he got another old piece of wood and put it at that end to hold it up to make a bench. And he left it here, and he did this when he was in high school. So he's 52 now. So this old board that he put here under this cedar tree, there it is. That fern that's on it is called resurrection fern. Because, and this is some moss that's growing on it. See, there's the wood, and this fern is growing in that wood right there. It grows on rotten wood. And to me, that board is gorgeous. And it brings back the memory of my son going in that river, hauling this thing home and making him a bench. Now, it's been here all this time, and every year I say, Dallas, you need to take this to your house. You need to take this to your house. But I think he wants it just to stay here with his mama. So every time I look at it, I think of him. But one day I do want him to take it, and he can sit it on the north side of his house that doesn't get much sun. And every time it rains, that resurrection fern will come alive again. I think they call it resurrection fern because it completely dies. I mean, it'll be completely dead on that board. And then when that board gets saturated with water again, it comes to life, y'all. And they call it resurrection because it resurrects just like Jesus did. He was completely gone, completely dead, and he rose again. Here's our little stuff we got for today. Aren't they pretty? I mean, they're beautiful. I'm so thankful for stuff like this. I'll be eating them all off and on all week. So here's the view from my swing. Here it is. And I sit out here and the sun goes down right over there. And I can sit here and watch the sun go down. And I can pray and I can sing and I can think and plan. And that's why in the book, when I showed you the picture of this house right here and this old swing, I wanted you to know that sometimes the most earnest prayers and the most earnest plans and schemes and talks to God is in an old swing outside. And if it's got a squeak in it, which mine doesn't have right now, but when it does, that's a song to me. Because I remember going to my grandmother's and she had a swing on her porch and it would go every time you swing. And so it brings back memories to me. But sometimes we just need to rest in a swing and thank God that we're able to do it. I want to show you my swing. After George passed on, my swing fell down during a storm, and I asked the men to come over here and fix it from my church, and they did. Let me show you how it looks. This is how they put it up. They've got big bolts in it, and they bolted it to these two trees right here. And I'm telling you, it isn't moving. It is not moving. I'll eventually have to get a new one. Y'all can see it's about had it because I've got a hole in it on this side, but I just sit on that side since this side's rotted. It never did have any paint on it, so maybe that's it. But it's been here probably 20 years. Okay, anyway, let's go on to the house. Let me show you this before we go. This is a bush called a beautyberry. It's got little bitty purple bloom berries all over it. Some people call it a French mulberry. I got a prettier one up closer to the house. I'll show it to y'all. Here's my well house right here, where my fresh well water comes out. George built that for me. Let me show you. And it's got a tickle in it. See that piece of wood over there with the the little crank that you turn, and there's my well bucket. There's the tickle up there. Let me just get it right here where you can see it. I used to have it hooked up right, and now it's was a dirt dauber built a nest in it. Y'all see that nest right there? That's a dirt dauber nest made out of mud. William and Isabella, not William and Isabella, William and Banks used to get up here in the top of this thing and sit right there and play like this was their fort. They had a ladder growing up in it, like they were guarding the countryside, I reckon. I don't know what they thought they were doing. Let's walk on this way. This fern stays out all year. It never dies. My wheelbarrow is getting really big now here in the fall. It's about done its due. I'm going to see what I can save out of it. You can tell we got a lot of rain last night. My little crystal bowl is full. I'm going to sit my muscadines down right here so we can walk to the front. There's something I'm going to show you around here. We can get around there to it. I've got a beauty berry around here that's really gorgeous. I've got one zinnia. One. This is where that big oak tree was that I showed y'all that I had to have it cut down and scrumped. And the, let's see what we got right here. Here's my one zinnia. We just got two more. See, that one and that one will be coming soon. I saw a spider on it. I guess he ran from me. Isn't that pretty? But this is where that oak tree was. And I had to have it cut down because it was dying and the limbs were falling out everywhere. And when he smoothed this bed out, I hope that some of my daylilies and stuff come back. I don't know if they will or not. All right, here's what I want to show you. This beauty berry right here is huge. And I mean, it has the berries. Look at the berries on this thing. Look at that. Look at this limb right here, how many. These grow wild in Alabama. We don't plant these. They just come up on their own. I don't know if they have to go through a bird's digestive system or not. Some seeds, if they don't go through a bird's digestive system, they will not germinate. Now, isn't that amazing? I ran over my little wagon the other day. I had it sitting right over here, and I moved it so they could do that stump. And I didn't see it, and I just ran right over it, so it's all broken up. We'll take it to the scrap metal place, I guess. Here's part of my rooting bed. This is an old wash tub bottom, and I root things back here. All right, I stuck this rose in, and I want you to look. It was little at the beginning of the summer, and now look how big. I'm gonna plant it this spring. I've got roses in these 2 tin cans right here with a hole in the bottom, of course. And they have rooted, most of them. These are the camellias that I showed y'all about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. I guess it was now. And some of them rooted, some of them didn't. Like that, that's a leaf. So all these are camellias. And I had the names of them on here, but it faded off. There's another rose rooting. There's a weed and a weed. But I've got all these roses. Roses are really easy to root. That's a tomato plant. I don't know what it's doing in there. These are all bridal wreath, and I just stuck them in. There must be 12 in there or more. So this spring we can put it out into the yard wherever we want it. This bed right here still doesn't look the very best. But I am continually working on it, and next spring it will be gorgeous. I planted a bunch of stuff in it, and it's all little, see? I went ahead and just stuck my roses down in there with no root on it, so it's coming up. I went to a Confederate cemetery. They had a big, big bush out there of this little shrub right here. And I pinched me off some of it. And that bush was as big as I mean, it must have been 12 feet tall, and I just broke off some tiny little pieces, brought them home and stuck them out, and y'all, they lived. It has a little tiny flower on it. And I'm working on this bed. I've got to get the rest of the grass out of it for my flowers there. I rooted this from Hannah's house, and these I bought. I did a row of them. I got 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down at the end is 5. Under this bed, put cardboard. There's cardboard under all of it, and you can kind of see the cardboard like right here. The cardboard that's around it, that keeps all the weeds down. I did not put it here, and you can see the difference. There's some cardboard. There's some. All right, but here's the situation. I don't have enough pine straw, so I've got to go rake me up some pine straw to keep my cardboard covered, and look how nice it did. It killed all the grass I had in here. This was solid grass, and it's killed it. So I didn't have to dig it up. So y'all, this is a good trick. Now right here is my purple verbena, and so one of y'all sent me some little 2 buckets of it. It's the kind I like is perennial. It comes back every year. And it looks like it's doing real good. There's a piece that doesn't look so good. Let me just pull it up. The rest of it looks like this will be solid purple this spring and just hanging over, so that'll be beautiful. And y'all will recognize these 2 swings because this was in my first cookbook. In the first cookbook, I had my children to come back here with these swings, my grandchildren, because George made these for them, and they swing on them a many time. And he bolted that in. Y'all see that big bolt up there where he has put it in the tree? And then right here, this is bolted in also. He took an axe and kind of cut a little piece out of that bark so it would lay flat. And so here's my other bed. And of course, right now, there's not anything blooming in it this late in the year. I need to buy me some, something to go out here, I guess. Just to have a little color. I hadn't planted that yet, but I plan to. I just hadn't done it. I hadn't planted anything in there. There's weeds coming up in it. I had some boys come over the other day to move it for me. One of y'all gave me this rose. It's doing good. This one doesn't bloom too much. It's a rose. It's supposed to bloom a lot. I don't know why it's not blooming. It's an old-timey rose, but it's just not doing well. One of y'all gave me this shamrock, the colored shamrock. There's some more verbena. I'm going to redo my basket over here this summer. This winter, and put the new dirt and have it all ready so I can plant something in that this coming spring. I'm going to save the seed off of this coneflower. I'm going to save these big seed heads as soon as they turn brown. And right here, this little flower, you can save these. And those are all seeds in there. You don't need to pick them, though, while they're wet. Let them get good and dried out, then pick them. This is my coxcomb right there. And that's a big bed of verbena right there. So that's about it as far as my flowers. It's really a bad time of year for flowers in September. All the summer flowers are about gone or not doing as well. And then you start thinking fall. And so chrysanthemums and that sort of thing. And know this, if you'll take your chrysanthemum out of the pot that you got it in, they come in big, beautiful pots. Go ahead and dig you a hole and put that chrysanthemum just like it is, instead of sitting it somewhere. Just go ahead and plant it in your yard, and next spring, honey, that thing is gonna come back. That's a perennial. It's gonna come back every year. So y'all do that now. Just if you buy you some mums, then plant them in your yard, not the bucket. Take it out of the bucket and plant it. And you'll have flowers from now on, and they'll multiply. And you can root them really easy, too. Okay, we're back at the house. I've put my little muscadines and scuppernongs in the refrigerator, get them good and cold. And I enjoyed walking with y'all this morning outside. And we had a good walk, didn't we? It's humid out here, but it was good. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.